Good morning. Happy Friday Focus. Friday the 4th of March. Supposedly we're supposed to be in spring. It's raining here. Never mind. I hope you've all had a fabulous week and everything's been, excuse me, I'm losing my voice at the moment. Everything's been going really well for you. We are now, I wouldn't say settled in our house, but we are getting there. And I have also just put an offer in on a flat for my first property investment buy, which is really quite exciting. Do let me know that you're watching, or if you're watching on replay, and please comment on anything if you'd like to. So today what we're going to be talking about is 5 ways to control your business costs. It is so expensive running a business, so expensive. The cost of supplies, employee wages, it doesn't really matter what it is. And your subscriptions these days they're all going up. They're all going up in April. As far as we're concerned, as accountants and mentors, they're all going up anyhow. So it's really, really important if you want your business to succeed in the long term. There are some seriously good steps that you can take in order to control those costs and keep them under budget. So we're going to have a look at 5 ways that you can control these costs so that they don't destroy your bottom line, which, as everybody who's watching here knows, that is what I am after, is increasing profitability for anybody and everybody who runs their own business. So first of all, we need to sort of discuss what the difference is between fixed and variable costs. A lot of people get quite confused with these. So I'm going to try and explain it in reasonably simple language. So variable expenses and costs are those that change depending on how much you sell or you produce. Fixed costs remain constant throughout whatever happens in your business. So once you've identified which of your expenditures fall into each of these categories, you can really start to take some action. Variable costs should be monitored really closely and kept as low as possible so that your business does not lose money when it sells a higher volume of products or sells more services. Fixed costs will need to be covered by the revenues generated from the sale, whatever. If there isn't enough income coming in, then they may need to be cut. So first of all, my number one tip is to create a realistic budget. The use of a realistic budget is one way that you can control your business costs by eliminating unnecessary spending on items, on services, subscriptions, things like that you really don't have much value for in your company. Creating a budget is the very first step towards your controlling your costs. It's really important to remember that your business will likely need some sort of wiggle room for emergencies and unforeseen costs. We all do. Your budget should feel like a guide, not a prison warden. If you're using Xero, you can do a really good, simple budget. You go to your accounting tab and then reports and then down to budget manager. It's very, very easy to set it up. You can work it out so that you've got 3 months worth of actual figures so that you've got the idea of what you've been spending over the last 3 months. And then you can do a budget for up to 12 months. I would advise when you're first starting out with a budget, never to do it more than 3 months or 6 at the absolute most. But 3 months is honestly enough to keep you going. You can then start to compare your actuals to your budgets as and when the time comes. Tracking your expenses is the second tip. Once you've started to create some sort of budget that you can really work with, it's really important for your business to start tracking its expenses. This is going to give you an idea of where the money is currently being spent, how much is left over in each of those categories. So if you put a budget of £1,000 for your advertising and marketing for a month, for instance, these are obviously only fictitious figures, but you've only spent 600, then you know that you've got an extra 400, either that you've already budgeted for so that you can put it into the following month, or that you can spend on something different. This will give you a really good idea of where the money is currently being spent and how much is left over, as I say. If there are any costs that are unnecessary or don't generate a good enough ROI, return on investment, then you can start to eliminate them. But tracking expenses will also help to provide you with a clear picture of how much money is being brought in from sales so that you can compare the two figures and see if there are any holes in your budget, which is why I suggest only doing 3 months at a time. Now, zero-based budgeting. I don't like zero-based budgeting, to be quite honest, but a lot of people do it. And if that's what they want to do, then that's what I help them do. So zero-based budgeting is a way that you can really control your business costs by eliminating all unnecessary expenses. With this approach, what you do is every single expenditure needs to be called out, i.e. the person who is actually paying the bills. So if it's just you and your business, then you're not going to want to do it zero budget. But if you've got other people in your business, VAs, who are spending more than you want them to do, or you're organising the budget so that the person who's paying the bills has to sign it all off. So everything has to be justified. It takes a lot of time to implement, but it does provide your business with a really clear idea of where the money's going and what they need to cut from the budget. Downsizing office space. This is obviously after COVID and everything, and we've all worked out that we can work remotely. It's a really good way for your business to cut costs. Downsize the office space. It might mean moving into a smaller location or working from home instead of having an actual office that you rent out. When you downsize, it might also be beneficial if most employees work remotely and only the core team meets up in person on certain days when necessary. I know a lot of people who do this, and I think it's a really good idea, actually. My fifth tip is cloud accounting software. If you are not using a cloud accounting software, please start looking into it. Wherever your business is, it's going to make an enormous difference to the amount of time that you spend dealing with all the spreadsheets and everything, reconciling your bank account, to the time that your accountant will spend actually doing your accounts at the end of the year, if you have an accountant. So if you can implement some sort of cloud accounting software, and there are loads out there, but something like Xero, QuickBooks, if you must, sorry, I have a real thing about QuickBooks, Free Agent, Zoho Books, there are loads and loads out there. But the type of program that you choose will allow you to track all of your company's income and expenses in real time. And that's the difference that it makes. It can really help you make some seriously better decisions about cutting back on certain areas. By using something like Xero, you can also take advantage of features like the online invoicing, payment processing, things like that. Things like Xero also connect to things like Go Cardless, so your payments will be taken automatically by direct debit. You don't even have to think about them unless you have to chase them up, but that's fine. So in summary, keeping your business costs low is a constant challenge, but it's one that you can really overcome by making use of any of the methods that I've discussed. It's very important to constantly keep your eye on the ball so that your business remains as profitable as possible. Now, if you're thinking, oh God, this is such a hassle, I can't do this. I haven't got time to do this, which is what a lot of people think when they're running their own business. We've got so many hats on, doing different things, whether it's the marketing, the selling, the invoicing, the admin, it doesn't matter what it is. We've got so many hats on. Perhaps it's time that you actually looked to somebody to help you, an advisor to help you set up your budget, go through your expense analysis with you, make sure that you've got some actions which you're actually held accountable to in order to make yourself more profitable. Now, obviously, this is something that I talk about a lot, being more profitable, and yeah, it's a bit like a broken record, but hey, it's what I do, and it's what I love to do, is to make more people profitable so that they're taking more money, they're rewarding themselves, and they are putting their money aside for their tax so that they have peace of mind. They don't have to worry. They don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, oh my God, I got a tax bill in 3 months and I'm not going to have enough money. How am I going to do it? This is why I suggest to all of my clients that we set up Profit First. You don't have to. You don't have to do it by the book. You can do it with me. You can do it without me. There's a course coming out at the beginning of April, which is basically called, what's it called? Cash Management, A Fresh Perspective. And it's how to set up Profit First. So if you're thinking, oh, I've sort of read the book, but I find it a bit confusing, but yeah, I want to do this, but oh, I haven't got time to do it. It's going to take too long to do. Go on the course. It's only 6 weeks. You get, every 2 weeks, you get a Q&A with me on a sort of office hours session. And we go through any questions that you might have. At the end of the 6 weeks, you also get a one-to-one with me. So we do a really deep, detailed Profit First assessment and a rollout plan for the next 6 quarters. It is well worth it. Now, when it first comes on my website, which is in about 2 weeks' time. There's going to be a waiting list for anybody who wants to join. And if you join in those first 2 weeks, then you get the early bird price, which is only £350. That is going to be well worth the money, especially as you get the Q&As and you get me at the end of it for an hour and a half, which is really well worth it. Although that is obviously blowing my own trumpet, sorry. Set up Profit First in your business. Get it going. It's a game changer. It takes the worry out of running your business. It gives you the confidence to understand what those numbers are, and it gives you the focus to be able to really concentrate on what's going on in your business. So if you want more details, go to the website or contact me, Hetty at hettyburneyaccounting.co.uk. Very happy to talk to anybody, have a discovery call, see what you need, see if we can help you in any way. That's what I'm here for, is to help. So please make use of me. And if you need anything, please do come along. I'll see you next week. Bye.